Greetings, scholars. I want to take a few moments to talk to you about the documented outline. On Blackboard for you, you have the annotated outline, and the annotated outline has all of my instructions. Everything that you need to know about MLA documentation is here on the annotated documented outline. I'm going to do a separate video on the documented outline, but first, I want to talk to you about MLA documentation. You're going to be adding research to your general outline, and you're going to have to add this information in MLA format. Okay, my instructions in the side margin of this document take you over MLA documentation. Now, what I'm about to cover is written for you over here. I'm just going to go through this and show you what it means, right? So I'm going to color coordinate for you. MLA documentation for research requires three things. The first thing you need to have is a signal phrase. A signal phrase lets the reader know that you are about to state borrowed information. And for the purposes of this lesson, I'm going to highlight my signal phrase in yellow. The second thing that you need is the actual research. I'm going to highlight this in green. Now, three types of research notes that you're going to use: a summary, a paraphrase, a direct quote. Doesn't matter which one you use, that information has to be documented, and it has to be documented correctly. The last thing you need, and this may be optional depending on your format. In this case, I have a parenthetical reference that gives me the author. I need to know how to find this information on the works cited page. So the three elements you'll need a signal phrase, you'll need the actual borrowed research, and you're going to need something in here to let me know how to find this on the works cited page. In this case, you're going to need a parenthetical reference. When I grade your essays, it's going to be fairly simple for me to check this, okay? So one of the first things I'm going to look and see on the outline is to check your sources. So as I read through the outline, I see Chin. You say that this information is attributed to Chin. I can go into my Find button, click the Find button, which is in the top right-hand corner of the screen. This tells me everywhere you cited Chin in the paper. So if I click here, I see Chin on the works cited list. Okay, Chin is here in alphabetical order, A, B, C. There is no B. Chin is here. I see the full citation. I see that this is a web source, and web sources do not have page numbers, so I don't expect page numbers. You must get this information correct, right? Everything has to be documented correctly, because let's say you give me the signal phrase, but you don't tell me how to find this on the works cited list. I have a parenthetical reference that lists the name of the publication, okay? But this does not tell me how to find this information on the works cited list. If I do a find for Washington Post, it's going to give me, if I click onto this one, it's going to give me where the periodical is in an article.go, and this is incorrect. So every time you do something incorrect for the outline, you're going to lose 6 points. This mistake would cost you 6 points from your final score. And remember, your documented outline is worth 100 points. So now you're already down to a 94. Let's talk about the next example. And remember, all of my instructions, everything that I'm telling you about this is in the right margin, in the annotation. So all of my instructions are here. So for this source, I use in my signal phrase, and remember, all of my signal phrases are going to be highlighted in yellow, okay? So in this signal phrase, I use the author's name, Peterson notes, I have my signal phrase, and I have my summary. Okay, so this is all I need for this one, because when I do a search, again, all I have to do, highlight the author's name, I find the author, I go to the Works Cited page, in alphabetical order on the Works Cited page, I see the author and I see the full citation. And again, this is a website. It has no page numbers, so I will not have a parenthetical reference in this case. So let me warn you, do not repeat the author's name. If, for example, you turn the paper in to me and you repeat Peterson in the parenthetical reference, this is incorrect. You don't need to repeat the author's name. You've already told me how to find this on the reference page. When I went to the reference page, I saw that this is a web source, so it has no page numbers. This would cost you another 6 points from your paper. You're going to lose 6 points from your paper if you do this, if you repeat the author's name within the documentation. Okay, set it up correctly for me. Get rid of that repetition of the author's name. In this case, you're just using the author's last name. There is no parenthetical reference because the author is already here, and there is no page number. Look at B. And again, I remind you, all of the notes are here on the are annotated for you here in the margin. So in this case, in the article, there was an organization's name. So my signal phrase consists of that organization's name. I have a direct quote here. How do I know it's a direct quote? I have quotation marks at the beginning and quotation marks at the end. I'm going to highlight that in green. Now, how am I going to find this on the Works Cited page? Well, as I said, I use the organization, the name of the organization in my signal phrase. So in the parenthetical reference, you're going to have to tell me how to find this on the Works Cited page. I'm looking for Cox. You took this information from an article written by Cox. So again, I simply do a find. I go to the work, it takes me directly to the Works Cited page in alphabetical order ABC. I see Cox. I see again that it is a web source. I know it has no page number, so I'm not expecting to see a page number. Okay. Let's move on to the next example. In C, we use a generic signal phrase, highlighted in yellow. Okay. We use a direct quote. Okay. But in this case, I have no author. And a lot of you are working with sources that have no author. And again, my instructions are in the margin for you. Okay. So if you do not have an author, you alphabetize according to the first 3 words of the title. The first 3 words of the title, nation is staring. Okay. I'm going to put that in red. And then again, easy. To check to see if this is on your Works Cited page, all I'm going to do, I'm going to highlight it. I'm going to do a find. It's going to take me directly to the Works Cited list in alphabetical order. Again, in alphabetical order, right? MN, I see the full title of the article, Nation is Staring at a Crisis in Finding, Keeping Qualified Teachers. Okay. It is here for you. I can see it. It's easy for me to check. Be sure that you are using correct MLA format. This handout covers correct MLA format. When you get to the Works Cited page, again, in the right margin, I have this annotated for you. Remember, put this in alphabetical order. Do not put any numbers. This is not numbered. Make sure that you check your format. I've already checked your working bibliography for format. So make sure that your works cited page is set up neat, right? And that everything is there. I do want to go back and show you one thing that I forgot to show you. Quotation marks. When you use quotation marks, remember, periods go inside quotation marks, okay? So I'm going to redo this entry for you just to show you what I mean. I'm going to take Cox out of this. I'm going to remove Cox from my parenthetical reference, right? Okay, and I'm going to put Cox in my signal phrase. So I don't need the parenthetical reference now that I have Cox here. So, and you can do this. You can do this with a direct quote. It begins with quotation marks, but look at this. This is incorrect, and this is going to cost you 3 points. So be very careful for me, okay? Periods and commas go inside. They go inside quotation marks. So this is the correct format. This is the correct format. If you put periods and commas outside of quotation marks, then I'm going to deduct 3 points every time you do it. In this case, I have the author's name is still in my signal phrase. I didn't use the organization's name. I can still do a search for the author's name. I find the author's name. Because this is a direct quote, right? Remember, quotation marks go outside periods and outside commas. If you make this mistake, if you put the period on the outside, like it is here, right? This is going to cost you 3 points every time you do it. So make sure that you're listening to what's going on in this video. Make sure that you're reading your instructions for the annotated, for doing the documented outline. Everything is on Blackboard for you. Follow my instructions to the letter, right? And this should be an easy grade. It should be it should be easy for me to put an A on the paper, or it's going to be easy for me to put an F on the paper. So please be careful, and as always, if you have any questions, please contact me. I will be happy to answer your questions. That's all for now. I'm going to pick up in another video to talk to you about the completed documented outline.